I'm your storyteller. Where are you listening from? And what time is it there right now? Before we begin this story, take a deep breath and let it out slowly. You've had a long day, haven't you? But now, you're here. This is your moment. Just you, the sound of rain, and a world waiting to unfold. Close your eyes if you'd like. Let every thought melt away. Tonight, I'll take you on a journey. A deep relaxation story made just for you, to calm your heart and mind. Are you ready? Then let's begin. The gentle rustle of leaves outside the wooden cabin echoed in soft harmony with the rain tapping on the rooftop. Elara sat curled on the cozy armchair by the window, wrapped in a woolen blanket, a cup of warm chamomile tea resting between her palms. Her eyes followed the rain as it painted trails down the glass, each droplet a silent lullaby from the skies. The room was filled with a peaceful hush, broken only by the soft crackle of the fireplace. Shadows danced across the walls like dream fragments, and every flicker of light felt like a memory waiting to be remembered. Elara closed her eyes, breathing in the scent of rain-soaked earth and burning cedar wood. Her thoughts floated freely, untethered, drifting through memories and dreams, as if sailing across a still, silver lake. In this quiet, far from the noise of the world, her heart finally slowed. She wasn't running anymore, not from stress, not from expectations. Here, in the embrace of solitude and rain, she was simply being. The wind outside had softened to a whisper, like the world was holding its breath just for her. Elara set the empty teacup on the side table and pulled the blanket tighter around her shoulders. A deep breath filled her chest, rising slowly, then exhaling like a sigh that had waited years to be released. In that moment, she felt the weight she had carried for so long begin to lift, quietly, gently, like mist rising from the lake at dawn. She rose from the chair and walked to the door. As she stepped onto the porch, the wooden floor creaked beneath her bare feet. But even that sound felt soothing, like the house was alive and speaking softly to her. The rain had eased into a delicate drizzle, each drop shimmering like stardust as it touched the leaves. She stood at the edge of the world, watching it breathe in silence. The trees around her swayed like old guardians, their limbs moving in time with the wind. And in that vast stillness, Elara smiled. Not a smile forced by politeness, but a real one, deep, soft, and born from a place she hadn't touched in years. Here nothing was expected of her. There were no voices demanding, no clocks ticking reminders. Just her, the trees, the rain, and and the rhythm of a heart finally allowed to rest. Elara stepped into the wet grass, letting her feet soak in the chill of the earth. Each blade brushed her skin like a memory, and the gentle sound of raindrops against leaves played a melody older than words. She walked slowly toward the lake that rested beyond the meadow, where the mist hung low and quiet over the surface, like a dream not yet told. Her breath formed small clouds in the evening air, and as she exhaled, it felt like letting go of things that no longer served her. Old fears, unspoken grief, all of it dissolving into the fog around her. At the water's edge, she sat down on a smooth stone, watching the ripples move gently outward, kissed by falling rain. The lake didn't rush. It didn't pull. It simply accepted. Like the sky above, it held space for everything. Every thought, every feeling, every silence. Elara closed her eyes, and in that stillness, she heard something she hadn't in years. Peace. Not the peace people talked about casually, but the kind that wrapped around the soul like a warm shawl. The kind that didn't ask questions. The kind that said, "You're safe now, just breathe." She placed a hand over her heart. It was beating slowly, calmly, like a rhythm in tune with the world. And in that moment, she knew she had arrived at something sacred, not a place on a map, but a feeling, a deep, quiet returning. A gentle wind stirred the mist, brushing Elara's hair across her cheek like a soft caress. She didn't move to fix it. She let the wind do what it needed to do. Her mind, once tangled with worries, was now unwinding thread by thread with each passing breeze. Behind her, the meadow whispered with the sound of nightfall, the rustling of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the rhythm of droplets tapping against petals. The earth was breathing with her now. Inhale, exhale, slow and easy. She lay back on the soft ground, gazing up at the clouds drifting above. The rain was light now, more like mist than drops. It kissed her skin like a lullaby, cool and tender. The sky above was a canvas of gray and silver, and it felt endless, like it held secrets too old to be spoken. As she stared upward, memories began to float gently into her awareness. Not loud or overwhelming, just soft echoes of childhood laughter, her mother's lullabies, the comfort of holding someone's hand during a storm. Each memory was like a lantern flickering in the mist, guiding her deeper into herself. She let them come and go. No need to hold on. No need to push them away. Just float. Her fingers traced patterns in the grass beside her. She imagined they were lines of a forgotten language, one only the earth understood. a language made of stillness, of presence, of being fully here and nowhere else. The lake beside her remained silent, calm, accepting. It didn't ask her to be anything but exactly what she was. Tired, healing, human. And for the first time in a long time, that was enough. A soft mist began to rise from the lake, curling gently around Elara's form like a silken cocoon. It didn't chill her, it comforted her. It wrapped her in a silence so full, so deep, it felt like the whole world had paused just to let her breathe. Nothing hurried, nothing demanded. Everything was simply still. The rain continued to fall in the lightest rhythm, like tiny fingers tapping a lullaby across the meadow. With every drop, her thoughts grew quieter, her mind lighter. It was as though each raindrop was washing away a layer of the day, of the past, leaving only her soul beneath it all. She heard the low rumble of thunder in the distance, not threatening, but steady, like a heartbeat echoing across the sky. It made her feel safe, grounded, like the earth was alive, and it knew her pain, her weariness, her quiet hopes. A thought drifted into her mind, not a loud one, just a whisper. You don't have to do everything. You only have to be. And that thought settled deep inside her chest, like a stone placed gently into still water. Her breathing slowed even more, as if she had become part of the rain, part of the soil beneath her, part of the rhythm of the world. No expectations, no fear, only peace. And there, between the gentle sound of water and wind, she found it. Not a solution, not a breakthrough, but something better. Rest. She walked slowly now, her feet brushing against the soft grass that sparkled with dew, each blade glistening in the moonlight like it held a secret. Elara didn't have a destination, and that was the point. For the first time in what felt like ages, she didn't need one. The trees whispered above her, swaying gently in rhythm with the breeze. Their leaves rustled not in chaos, but in harmony, like the murmurs of old souls, telling tales only the wind could understand. She tilted her head back and looked up. The sky was painted in gentle shades of silver and blue, clouds drifting lazily past a pale moon. It was as though even the heavens had slowed down to rest. A small clearing opened ahead, nestled between tall pines and mossy stones. In its center sat a wooden bench, old but steady, as if waiting for someone to remember it. Elara walked over and sat, her body relaxing into the curve of the wood. She closed her eyes. She imagined the raindrops above turning into soft stardust, falling slowly onto her skin, melting into her with the warmth of 1,000 quiet sunrises. Her shoulders softened, her jaw unclenched, and the tightness around her chest eased. And then she heard it, not from the trees, not from the sky, but from inside her own heart. A single sentence, spoken without words. You're allowed to rest. You don't need to prove anything to be worthy of peace. She opened her eyes again, but nothing had changed. And yet, everything had. The night was still dark. The rain still fell. But inside her, something had shifted. A deep well of calm had opened, vast and silent. Elara wasn't searching anymore. She was simply being, breathing, existing. And for the first time in a long time, that was enough. She leaned back on the bench, letting the gentle rain kiss her face. Each drop was like a lullaby, soft, rhythmic, cleansing. The world around her had grown hushed, as though it too had paused to breathe with her. Even the wind, once playful and full of whispers, now moved more slowly, carrying only the scent of pine and damp earth. Elara closed her eyes once more, but this time not to escape, only to listen to the soft rustle of leaves, to the delicate tapping of raindrops on the wooden bench, to her own steady heartbeat. For so long, her thoughts had rushed like rivers, fast and tangled. But now they flowed like a quiet stream. She thought of the people she had loved, and those she had lost, the moments she wished she could relive, the dreams she had once chased, and the ones that still flickered quietly within her. And yet, with all of this swirling gently in her chest, she felt no urgency, no sorrow, only a soft acceptance. A single firefly drifted past, its tiny glow a beacon in the dark. It paused near her hand as if greeting her, then continued its slow flight into the night. Elara watched it disappear, feeling as if it had carried a part of her into the trees. Something weightless, something old. She stood up slowly, stretching her arms toward the sky. The rain had eased into a mist now, barely noticeable except for the way it made her skin feel fresh, alive. She began walking again, her bare feet pressing into the damp soil. With every step, the earth seemed to hum beneath her, grounding her, welcoming her. And then, as she rounded a gentle bend in the path, she saw it. A small pond, its surface smooth and still, reflecting the moonlight like a mirror made of dreams. Willows dipped their branches into the water, their leaves brushing gently along the surface. The entire scene shimmered as though it had been waiting for her alone. Elara stepped closer and sat at the edge. She reached out, trailing her fingers in the cool water. Ripples spread slowly like the soft circles of thought expanding in her mind. She whispered aloud to no one and to everything, "I'm ready to let go now." And the night whispered back, "Then stay here, just for a while longer." She remained by the pond, watching the ripples she had created fade gently into stillness again, just like her thoughts, once stormy, now quiet and soft. The moon climbed higher, painting silver patterns on her skin, as if nature itself wanted to hold her. A hush fell over the forest, deeper than silence. It was peace, the kind of peace that doesn't come often in life, the kind of peace that finds you only when you finally stop searching. Elara lay back on the soft grass, arms open, breathing slowly. The raindrops had stopped completely, leaving behind only a cool hush and the scent of wet earth and blooming jasmine. Her heart no longer raced with old worries. It beat slowly, steadily, like the calm rhythm of waves lapping a distant shore. She looked up at the sky. The stars were peeking through the thinning clouds now, tiny lanterns, distant yet comforting. One shot across the sky in a streak of glowing silver, like a promise whispered by the universe. In that moment, Elara understood something she never had before. She didn't need to fix everything, to run, to prove, to become. She only needed to be, right here, in this breath, in this moment. A soft smile appeared on her lips as she closed her eyes once again, not to escape, not to dream, but to rest, truly rest. And in the quiet that followed, the forest wrapped her in its arms. The wind settled. The stars blinked gently overhead. And the night, ever watchful and kind, stood guard as Elara finally drifted into the deepest, most peaceful sleep she had ever known.